the issues for our group is the climate change effects on invasive species, the anthropogenic influence on the biosphere since the advance of the industrial age are increasingly causing a global change. Climatic change and the rising concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere like ozone, carbon dioxide and methane are really give a biggest impact to the world. Climatic change is known to affect many ecological properties and is interact also with non-indigenous species in many possible ways. It is also exacerbates the trends such as sea surface temperature, hydrodynamic, pH, and carbonate cycles that already show marked fluctuation compared to the past. Alien invasive species are impacted by the change of marine climate in so many ways.
Hi. Okay, now we proceed to the location of the issue. For this slide, there are 4 locations that has been stated. First one is the Mediterranean Sea, second is the Antarctica Sea, third is the European Sea, and fourth, North America Sea. But for North America Sea, there is something special in it. A researcher found Mesobolus cerebralis is a whirling disease at the fish. It is a non-native species or non-native pathogen who caused by the climate change, and this pathogen might affect the salmoniid population. Okay, now we proceed to the next location. For this slide, there are 4 locations that has been stated also. First one is the Mediterranean Sea, but this one is coming from another article that we found. Second is Italy, third is North Pacific, and fourth, West Africa. But now, I will explain to you guys the West Africa Sea. There are 108 species that invaded in the sea. These invasive species has spread out through the ocean circulation, where the circulation can alter its location easily.
So, how does climate change affect invasive species? Altered mechanisms of transport and introduction. Climate change could alter patterns of human transport and link different geographic areas that was previously separated. Altered climatic constraints on alien species. Warm stenothermal alien species will be able to spread further if conditions become more like their native range. Altered distribution of existing invasive species. Many alien species will be favored by environmental changes that increase the resource availability, which will facilitate their spread. Altered impact of existing invasive species. Both invasive species and native species are competing to survive, but climate change may put native species at disadvantage because they will no longer experience the ranges of environmental variables to which they are best adapted. Altered effectiveness of management strategies for invasive species. Increasing carbon dioxide concentrations may enhance the tolerance of terrestrial invasive species to certain herbicides, undermining the effectiveness of chemical treatment.
Okay, so next, as we know, every cases and issue that happen in this world, there must be person or agency who in charge to discover and involve in that certain issue. So, for this issue, climate change effect on invasive species, there is a few person who in charge to discover and involve in this issue, such as ICES, International Council for the Exploration of the Sea, EU Integrated Project System, the Potter School of Environmental Studies at Tel Aviv University, and Italian Ministry of the Environment, Land and Sea. And yeah, last but not least, every study for these certain cases, they must have their own importance of the study. So here's a few important of the studies for this issue. First, the increase in geographic redistribution of invasive species will have diverse societal and environmental impacts. Second, IS reduce the resilience of natural habitats, making them more vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Third, the economic costs of IAS and their management are in the billions of US dollars annually, with invasive alien insects alone estimated to cost the economy more than US dollars 70 billion per year. And lastly, biological invasions are among the top drivers of biodiversity loss and species extinction.